Welcome everybody. If you're joining here live on Zoom, or if you're joining us through the Holy Satellite, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time to look inside, to connect. It's a wonderful opportunity. And actually, I'd like to begin by sharing a little invitation. So if you're benefiting from these Mindful Munch sessions, I'd like to also share that I've created an AusLev. AusLev, it's another space where we explore mindfulness and breathwork, and this one it's also integrated with Jewish wisdom and Torah. So we explore their ancient teachings, but it's it's taught in a very universal way that, speaks to our day-to-day life. So the intention there is really to come towards more presence and connection with ourselves, with others, and with creation itself. Amen and amen. Like it's similarly to Mindful Munch, but with a more references from the Torah and from Jewish wisdom. So if it resonates with you, you're very welcome to explore the YouTube channel in the description. Today I'd like to explore something simple but really life-changing. Everyday things happen, and happen to us, happen for us. We mostly don't choose what happens. Now, if someone suddenly speaks harshly, or plans fall apart, or a conflict, or a child melts down, we receive wonderful news or difficult news, most of life arrives uninvited, often by surprise or unplanned. And now, what we often do have really in that situation is little choice of how we can meet the next moment. So how we meet it has something to do with how we perceive it. So it's not always a huge choice, but sometimes it just gives us enough space for one conscious breath. And today I'd like to explore that space, because in that space we cultivate choice how to see, choice how to perceive. As many of our reactions happen automatically. They're shaped by our habits, or by our past experiences, or by our nervous system, how it feels in that moment. Someone interrupts us, or irritates. Today I had my breakfast, and my beloved son, bless him, he came very close to me with a balloon that he just blew, and with a lot of saliva in it, and he just released it in my ear. and I noticed myself, kind of, whoa, the zen just disappeared, the relaxation, the lovely moment just disappeared, and I was, like the whole system changed into irritation. Oh, yeah, irritation may be a compliment to how I felt. The mind reacts, the body reacts immediately. And it's not because we're doing something wrong, or something wrong happens to us. It's just how we work. It's just how our mind work, or our nervous system work. Mindfulness doesn't stop our thoughts, or our emotions, or our nervous system from getting hyped and full of anger or stress, but the practice of mindfulness gives us something actually more valuable. It gives us a little space, just a little space to perhaps respond consciously. Viktor Frankl, yeah, wonderful philosopher, author. He invented the whole modality, ACT, the ACT is based on his teachings, and he says that in between stimulus to response there is a space, and in this space we can make a decision. So, if the space feels large or small, that less matter. Probably this, you had this experience of a moment where one conscious breath changed what happened next, changed how things unfolded. Like maybe a conversation became gentler, a reaction softened. That happened to me today. Like how I wanted to react, now I reacted. It was very different. Like there was this moment, I caught it. Luckily, thanks God, caught it, and was able to soften. And a whole different thing appeared. It became a moment of laughter, an explanation about maybe personal space. now we intrude it. So this is the freedom that I would like to practice in general, but today. So it's not about controlling. It's not about controlling. It's simply about meeting a moment with perhaps a little bit more awareness, and a choice how to react. So let's begin by arriving. And welcome Danny and Simeon. Let's arrive. Just arrive resting the feet on the floor. And just noticing the support beneath you. Allowing the shoulders to soften. Maybe taking one deep, slow breath. And in the exhalation, resting a little bit more fully. And the next breath, see if you can just allow it to be exactly as it is. Notice the sounds around you, the sensations. Notice the thoughts that are running through the head. And really, nothing needs to change right now. Nothing needs to change. We're just experiencing it. We'll take a few minutes now to consciously change the breath. Changing the breath, of course, changes our nervous system. And of course, it affects on how we think, how we feel, how we perceive the reality around us and in us. And the breath that we will do We will inhale, counting 4, hold for exhale 6, and hold for 2. I'll guide us through as we go at the beginning. Please feel free to change it into any other rhythm that you'd like. We do want to add conscious breath hold. And in a way create space. So let's inhale and exhale. And in the next inhalation, we begin together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 1 and 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hold, 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold and inhale, hold and exhale. 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 I invite you to see if you would like to change that. Perhaps inhale, hold, exhale a little bit longer, shorter. Continue in your own pace. And we'll breathe like this for just about 1 more minute. Focusing completely as best as we can, purely on the breath, and maybe counting. Regulating our nervous system, creating an anchor of attention. Notice how you feel after about 4 minutes of practicing this breath, with rhythmic breath, with holding the breath after the inhalation and after the exhalation. Now, if you'd like, you can release this breath and continue breathing naturally. Or if you'd like, you can continue this breath as listening and noticing what comes to mind. If you'd like, I invite you to bring to mind a situation, something perhaps that regularly challenges you. Doesn't need to be something big or overwhelming, but something real. Maybe someone who pushes your buttons, or reoccurring frustration. And as you breathe, notice what happens in your body. No need to change anything. As you notice what happens in your body, you also breathe. And if you went to breathing naturally, see what happens if you add a gentle pause. If you continue breathing according to the rhythm you breathed before, just see what happens in the pause and in the exhalation. Just notice what happens to these sensations in the body. And perhaps notice if there are any differences between the event, the situation that you brought to mind, and the story in the mind that was created around it. No need to judge either one, but just noticing. Breathing in, creating space. Pausing. Choosing perhaps how we would like to respond, to perceive. And breathing out, letting go. Not perfectly, but perhaps a bit more consciously. If you'd like, at this stage you could perhaps think of another challenge. A recurring frustration. And notice what happens in the body. And with that awareness, breathing, pausing, and continue noticing the relationship between our mind, that event, between our heart to our mind. Notice what is changing. And if you're ready, I invite you to let go of this breath. Let go of needing to do anything, but simply observe the experience. And if you'd like, you can ask yourself, where in my life I'm operating a lot on autopilot? What situation this week is calling for just one deep conscious breath before I respond? Or perhaps a moment of awareness, a space to make a choice. And in that choice, this question of what quality would I like to bring into that moment? Maybe a little bit more patience, maybe curiosity, maybe kindness, maybe courage. Perhaps conscious breath is enough for today, without the need to change our whole life. Notice how you feel after this practice. And I invite you, as you move through your week, to notice those small moments when beginning to react automatically. And maybe when catching yourself, maybe not criticize yourself. Maybe pausing, taking a breath, and reminding yourself that there is a space. This is the space. And there is a choice. choice to be kinder. To ourselves, to others. Even in the way I take the next breath now. Even in the way how I'm ending this meditation. Slowly, slowly, moving the fingers, moving the toes. When you feel ready, opening the eyes. Thank you very much. May we discover that even one conscious breath can either gently or rapidly change the direction of the whole day. Thank you very much. Hope you feel the benefits of your practice, and to practice with you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Gerard, Rachel, Danny, Clive, Simeon, and yeah, everyone who is watching the recording. Thank you very much.